Walter Ray wins again. Ben Laughlin wins for the first time on TV. Scott Norton talks to Mike J. Laneside. And Jason Thomas and I subject ourselves to ridicule in Schlub Flubs. Coming up next on the Bowling Center.
Gets the strike.
Welcome to the Bowling Center. I'm Jason Thomas, the bowling guy, alongside Jeff Goodger, the internet bowling personality. And this is the final episode of the Bowling Center from the World Series of Bowling. And Jeff, we had one more great show to watch Sunday on ESPN.
Yeah, we saw the PBA50 Finals and the PBA RPI Finals. And let's take a look at the highlights right now. Yesterday's cornucopia of bowling got started with the RPI Finals. That's Regional Players Invitational, featuring 6 bowlers from around the country competing for money, pride, and a trophy. In the first 3-man shootout, the Central's Brian Kretzer, the South's Tom Doherty, and the Midwest's Dave Barris speedily made their way through 10 frames. Here's Barris in the second. Doherty in the third. Kretzer in the fourth.
Kretzer with a strike.
Bowling is quicker when spares are ignored. At the halfway point, Doherty held a small lead, but back-to-back opens for Kretzer, and this strike in the 6th for Doherty put him in good position to run away. But then the Wizard of Waukesha knocked down 10 on one shot to put himself back in contention. Doherty, though, was having none of it. Using the tried-and-true strategy of striking more than anyone else, he put himself into the final match with the winner of shootout number 2.
And Tom Doherty advances to the RPI Finals championship match.
The West, Ben Laughlin, the East, Brian LeClaire, and the Southwest, Grimace, or Barney, or yeah, Barney works. These 3 will fight for the right to Doherty. Early, it looked like the future Hall of Famer would coast, as evidenced by this strike in the second, but that's the problem with calling bowling matches early. Other guys have a lot more chances to strike. Laughlin came up in the third off an open and a spare, then sailed his ball past the headpin.
Wide right for Laughlin.
But here comes Laughlin in the fourth.
West Region champion looking for his first strike. There it is.
It's just one, and LeClaire strikes immediately after to increase his lead over Laughlin and take the lead over Barnes. Then this happened.
Oh my, Greek Church.
My, oh my.
Looking like LeClaire and Doherty.
Man, that goes wide for a washout, so everyone back in it.
Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah! Ben Laughlin, big comeback. You're going to be in the title match of the Regional Players Invitational facing Tom Doherty.
Before we move on, here's a man picking up a big 4 in a highly illegal way.
Chris Barnes with a highly illegal maneuver, putting on a treat for the fans here.
Impressive, yes, but don't try this at Cosmic Bowling. You'll miss, and break the sweep, and fall on your face in front of that girl you like. Now bowling for the title, Ben Laughlin and Tom Doherty. Laughlin strikes immediately, and Doherty horribly abuses his ball, the lane, and the pins with this beast of a counter.
Stalks the line here, opening shot, barrels it.
In the fourth, Doherty leaves the 4-8 and is not too excited, but at least his daughter is on TV. And now, even more prestigious, the Bowling Center highlight package. Strikes were rare, and halfway through, Doherty held a 3-pin lead. Strategy?
Come on, baby, peel off the corner.
Head peeled, and the messenger kicks out the 10.
Laughlin doesn't care about peeling, but he does care about striking. Going into the 10th, Doherty trails and needs this to make Laughlin strike.
Wide, double wood, 2-8.
No, but Laughlin still needs pins. 6, in fact.
Ben Laughlin, you're going to the PBA Tournament of Champions.
Don't worry, we know that's not enough bowling, so let's get into the PBA50 Finals. Can you believe these guys are in their 50s? Neither can their opponents. In the first match, Hall of Famer Amuleto Monicelli sent a messenger across the deck to open the contest, and Hall of Famer Pete Weber, sans lunettes de soleil, did the same.
Strike apiece.
One might argue everyone looks ridiculous when bowling, but look at this.
Double for Weber.
And this.
Shakes him out. Down goes the 7.
Weber nearly gave the match to Monicelli when he left the 2-4-10 in the 6th, but of course, this is what he did with it.
And there it is, like clockwork. Split conversion, 2-4-10 goes down for Weber.
An open in the 7th for Monicelli put Weber back to within 10. How big would that split conversion be?
Quality strike, 10 back for Weber.
The strike gave Weber a chance to take the lead in the 8th, but...
Oh, damn.
Just a pinch high.
Gosh, dang it.
And here comes Monicelli. Strike in the 8th.
In the 8th.
Strike in the 9th.
His lead. And he does so with a double, plus 17.
Just needs 8 in the 10th to win.
Amuleto Monicelli will advance to face Walter Ray Williams Jr.
We have a title match. What a surprise, look who's bowling for the title. Walter Ray Williams Jr., the all-time leader in PBA Tour wins. He was already named the PBA 50 Player of the Year, and now he's looking for just one more accolade to attach to his illustrious career. It must be hard for him to condense his resume to one page. Maybe he uses a masking unit. This man speaks 3 languages. 4 if you count bowling. No word on how many languages this man speaks, but he speaks bowling pretty well. Monicelli strikes in the 4th.
Mixon strikes, does Monicelli.
Williams strikes in the 5th and leads by 9 pins.
That one carries.
Monicelli strikes in the 5th and leads by 1 pin. Williams hams it up with a turkey in the 7th, but could he turkey it up with a ham bone in the 8th?
And the strikes are coming.
10th frame, Monicelli needs 3 strikes to shut out Williams and win the match.
And no trip 4 that time.
Williams now needs a nominal count to win. There's his nominal count, and Walter Ray Williams Jr. is your PBA 50 champion.
Well, Jeff, it was nice to see a regional player win the RPI.
Yeah, take that, Chris Barnes.
And it was also fun to watch Pete Weber and Walter Ray and Amuleto go at it. Walter Ray coming out on top again, as he's done so many times in the past.
I won't pretend to be shocked by that, but I wouldn't have been shocked by either of the other guys winning either.
Yeah, but weren't a lot of mistakes on those shows. But in making this show, which has been a heck of a lot of fun, you probably haven't seen some of the best parts of the show because we decided not to include them in the episodes.
Because of how horribly embarrassing they are.
Yeah, but we've decided to embarrass ourselves anyway and show them to you here on this final World Series of Bowling episode of the Bowling Center. This is the Bowling Center, episode 1, segment 1. Now you play
That wasn't horrible for our first attempt.
Yeah.
It was bad, but it wasn't horrible.
Bad.
Well, if we're striving for a comedy show, that's not going to do it.
That'd be fine. The World Series of Bowling. Who painted the... I'm not going to say...
He was kind enough to give us an early Thanksgiving present, and these are not the right shoes.
Would you like to see Jason's old bowling shoes?
Let's start to get uncomfortable now.
It's too late.
All right. Here we are.
Why?
Why are we doing this, America?
This is what happens when you actually do something that you say you're going to do. You actually have to do it.
Yeah. That's why this is so miserable.
Yeah, it's a lot more fun to just sit around and about why you weren't able to do something than it is to actually do it.
That's true.
Yeah.
And on that note.
Tools, we've got a drill press, we've got a ball spinner, router, everything that you'd need in order to waste your life bowling. Right here.
Ridiculous.
It is. So, and, you know, to enable us in our venture of trying to go out and bowl and prove that we're complete losers, Yes. Some of the product registered companies have agreed to give us equipment every week. The winning balls from the shows on the PBA telecast. This first week, we've actually got motive equipment. We also have aprons.
We do have aprons.
So just in case I make a mistake and splash goo all over myself, we will be protected. So we have these aprons. We are going to drill. All right, so here we are. We're in the man cave.
This is the man cave.
Yeah, we are aproned up. We've got the bowling guy and internet bowling personality aprons. We're going to do some work in here. We've got some pro shop equipment. We've got a drill press. We've got a ball spinner, router in case I make a really big mistake. And then we've got some bowling balls.
Sorry.
And I forgot my lines.
Orange today.
I would agree with that. But before we go and make that leap of faith, I think we should probably put a little surface on your bowling ball so that you can compete with schlub Jason Thomas first. Why don't we put a little surface on this bowling ball that's...
Dang it. This camera's still recording. You want to just shut this one off?
Oh, yeah.
Hi, camera. Off with you.
3/8 reverse. 3/8 reverse.
Yes, we do. Wes Malott coming off a big win. What's that mean for Player of the Year, Jason Thomas?
He has a chance.
He does have a chance.
Yes, yes he does.
I'll start it. We didn't talk about the ball last time. So. Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
You want to clue me in on what you're going to do?
No.
I don't want to start something stupid.
No, go ahead.
Oh, we're 2 games in to our bowling match, and even though I'm getting handicap, I have to say I love the Totally Defiant. I'm far and away scratch ahead of the bowling guy at this point with 1 game to go. This is the bowling guy, and looks like his thoughts are pretty evident. You can see him on his face here, very blank. So, 1 more game, Jason, and we'll see who comes out on top. Today on the Bowling Center, Jeff Goodger joined with miniature Jason Thomas jumping up and down on the chair. You never know which side of Jason Thomas you're going to get on the Bowling Center. Join Jeff Goodger and some kind of Thomas right here. Jeff Goodger and a product of Jason Thomas joining you every week here on the Bowling Center. So Ava, how much do you love bowling? A lot? Oh, you're too young to say that. You still have hope. You can get out. Jason, you ever seen a bowler and a ball rep talk?
We're better than turkey.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
You ever seen a bowler naked? Do you like movies about bowlers?
Still sober, if you can believe it. So you don't like that intro?
Well, it just took me by surprise. Ho, ho, ho! It's Schlubby Claus, and welcome to the Bowling Center, little boys and girl schlubs. This week on the show, we're going to find out... It's horrible. It's getting hair in my mouth, and then it's fogging up my glasses, and I can't concentrate. Yeah. We're going to have a gift exchange, and this thing is slipping into my mouth. God, it's horrible. So bowling Tourette's, Jeff Goodger. I like to think of it.
Come on, Jace.
So bowling Tourette's, Jeff Goodger, I like to think of it as our way of coping with the stresses of dealing with failing. Yeah, well, one other person who likes to cope with Tourette's is, this is terrible.
It is horrible. How many times can we say cope?
But another player... Yeah, who we're featuring with Mike J. Laneside in this edition of Beers with Bowlers. Is it called Beers with Bowlers?
It's called having beers with bowlers. Right?
We'll do it one more time. And he's the subject of this week's Having Beers with Bowlers with Mike J. Laneside. Yeah! Yeah! That is right, he did it! Jeff, I just want to assure all the fans watching at home that no schlubs were harmed during the making of that outtake segment.
Well, aside from our emotional states that, as bowlers, have been critically beaten down, punished for years, so I think we can handle it.
Yeah, we're bowlers.
Or schlubs.
And speaking of bowlers, Mike J. Laneside had a chance to catch up with another one in this week's edition of Having Beers with Bowlers.
Scott Norton, having beers with bowlers. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you as well.
You know, we wouldn't have been able to have this conversation about 10 years ago, but you just got married.
I did. It's you know, it's weird because we already kind of did the whole song and dance like 2 years ago, so it was a little bit weird when we did it a couple days ago to do it again and have to re-say the vows. We were kind of giggling at each other the whole time, but it's pretty awesome. And it's definitely an amazing thing to be equal to everyone else.
I mean, kind of everybody sees the things on the news, and there's the talk one way or the other, but you're a real human being that was able to go through this.
Yeah.
What was that day like?
Yeah, it was great, and it was great that I was able to have my parents there, and his mom flew in for it. And it certainly wasn't as big as the original day, which we had. We spent quite a bit of money on. We had 100 people there. It was in Laguna Beach over the ocean. It was really nice, but still something was kind of missing just because it wasn't recognized. So it's nice to now, you know, be equal in every way, and to really, no one can not call us married now.
What's it like growing up with a Hall of Famer, making peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
She didn't cook. She wasn't allowed to cook. No, she made...
I did not know that about
Nah,
Virginia.
she made tuna melts, and that was about all she was allowed to cook. Everything else she would... It was CDC warnings.
Yeah, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, no. My dad was the chef in the family. Well, Mom was gone half the time anyway when I was
going to
younger,
say, the lady
so,
can throw a bowling ball.
Yeah, she can. She can't throw a bowling ball. She can't make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But it was awesome. It was nice having, you know, a coach that you could always have access to. That's what I think the best part was. And that was also a curse on top of being a gift, because you always had to be around your coach. So, you know, sometimes home issues got, you know, kind of bled into practice session. Sometimes practice session issues or little quirks or fights or whatever kind of bled into home life. But I wouldn't have had it any other way.
You got a law career. What type of law do you practice?
I do. I can do anything because I have my own law practice, but most of what I do is consumer debt. I do bankruptcy, people that get sued by creditors, mostly because it's pretty easy work. It's stuff I can do on the road. Most of it is via email and phone, so I actually have a couple answers I have to write while I'm here. So I will be doing that either tonight or tomorrow. I'm going to be writing some answers for a couple of clients I just got.
You've been traveling the world, doing pretty well.
It's been a good year.
Why? How? What's working?
Well, I know that my move to Columbia has helped a lot. I'm with Columbia 300. Their equipment has been incredible, and I've really, really liked all the stuff I've seen, especially the more recent stuff. That's contributed quite a bit to my success. On top of that, it's just been kind of a different focus this year. This year's focus was more about kind of back to basics and enjoying myself, and just making sure that I'm out here because I want to be out here, not because I have to be out here. Because if I didn't want to be out here, I could be at home being a lawyer. So I'm out here because I want to be out here, and I wanted to make sure that I kept that.
Well, hey, thanks for stopping by and having a beer with Mike J.
Thank you.
Mike J. Laneside, having beers with bowlers.
Well, Jeff, it's always nice to catch up with Scott Norton. He's truly one of the nice guys out on the PBA Tour, and a heck of a bowler. He was in Player of the Year contention for most of the season.
Yeah, he's with the Ebonite staff, and we will be the ones bowling with Ebonite today, Jason. We have a couple of pivots to go throw in our little series that I like to call Me Dominating You.
Well, thank you to Ed Gallagher for sending us those balls, and we're going to find out if I can get just one win in our series in this edition of The Drilling Room.
Bowling on the Super Burn this week, Jason. And thanks to Ben Laughlin winning the RPI championship, we get to throw a very strong bowling ball, the Ebonite Pivot.
Yes, thank you, Ben Laughlin. But we do want to thank Ed Gallagher from Ebonite for sending us these pivots. We are just completely joking about Ben Laughlin. We love Ben. But we are going to have to figure out how to use these pivots on the burn. They're designed for fresh oil. They're designed to hook a lot. And we're going to be bowling on something that's hooking quite a bit. So we're going to have to shine these up first over at the ball spinner and then lay them out very weak for both of our games. All right, so these are the Ebonite pivots. We've put some shine on these bowling balls. They're laid out very similarly. This one is Jeff Goodger's here on the left. You notice the pin is way up. We've got the CG and the mass bias kicked out just a little bit to give them a little bit of help getting the ball started. And then here's mine over here, same surface, 4000 with polish, and everything is stacked in line, so it's a little bit weaker than this layout. But we're going to be in deep, and we're going to be trying to play on the burn.
Jason, we bowled 8 times in the bowling center, and with my excessive handicap, I've defeated you 8 times.
Yeah, it was disappointing for sure. I don't think I performed up to my full potential, but no excuses. All the credit goes to you. But we did tie 4-4 scratch.
Yes, you had me in the lead in the scratch division coming into this last series, and I did top you with the pivot. So tied 4-4 through 8. You know what happens when there's a tie, Jason.
Ladies and gentlemen, by PBA rule, this tie must be decided by a 1-ball sudden death roll-off.
Well, Jeff, one last beating for me, and I go 0-8 in the series.
Just as the experts predicted beforehand, I was going to crush you, dominate you, and humiliate you.
And you even tied me scratch 4-4, and it took me a one-ball roll-off just to win that.
Yeah, and yeah, I let you win that one too.
Ah, well, thanks. I feel much better now.
You're welcome.
But we did learn a lot from doing this, Jeff Goodger. What is your average currently at home, Jeff?
Today, it is 180.
So this guy in league is averaging 180, but he comes out here, gets some instruction from one of the world's greatest bowling coaches in Mark Baker. He has a professional drill his ball specifically for the pattern he's going to bowl on each week, and he averages 207 for 24 games, correct?
That is correct.
So I think one of the things you can learn from watching is that if you're 180 and you're struggling to get to that next level, seek out the help of a coach. Seek out the help of a professional ball driller. Tell him what you're bowling on every week, and that person can help you design something that's customized for your game, and your average might shoot up quite a bit.
Yeah, rather than just rifling through a bag of bowling balls, which is why my average has been 190 for the past 3 years, but it's creeping ever downward every year, and I just keep going through these balls. But forced to throw one ball every time, I actually had to think about just making a good shot, which is often overlooked in bowling, I think. Just make a good shot.
Yeah. So from my perspective, Jeff, you know, it was a little bit of a struggle. You know, I don't practice very much anymore. The last book average I had was 2 years ago, and it had been probably about 4 months since I had bowled when we started our series. And the one thing I think you can learn from that and watching me is, you know, I was forced to use one ball, which is something I never do when I'm, you know, I have a giant arsenal, you know, in my man cave that I would normally bring to a tournament or a league situation.
It's disgusting. It's humongous.
And I didn't have access to that. And then, so I had to rely on my shot-making skills, which were horrible because I hadn't bowled in 4 months. So it really showed up in the series. And, you know, our averages kind of leveled out.
Yeah, it basically explains to me that no matter where you are on the spectrum of bowling averages, if you want it to be good, you need to work at it.
Yeah.
It's an actual sport.
It is.
You need to work at.
It is. And you can't just drill 20 balls and expect that to solve all your problems, because you need to know what each ball does and when to use it, and that's how the best players get to where they are. So understanding all that, I think this week, I think we'll do kind of a kinder, gentler version of troll bowling. I want to end the World Series of Bowling episodes of the Bowling Center on a nicer note. So it's time for that now. So a kinder, gentler version of troll bowling, Jeff Goodger. You know, we've had a lot of fun on these segments, and it is fun to knock nasty internet trolls every now and then. But you know, we understand where the trolls are coming from. You know, they're not doing it to be mean for the most part. I think they're just very passionate about bowling, and they want what's best for bowling, and that's what we want as well. You know, we really spend a lot of hours working really hard to bring you, you know, coverage on Extra Frame, these shows that we're doing here, and we really enjoy doing it. It's a lot of fun, and really there's nobody in the world that is harder on us than we are on ourselves. So so we want you guys to all understand that, and we do enjoy, you know, commiserating with people and fans out on the road, and it's a lot of fun talking about bowling, and we enjoy it very much. But we understand that in order to grow the sport, you know, it's a very daunting task, and you know, all of us could be doing anything we want, really. I mean, you're a great writer, Jeff. I'm a writer myself. I did really well on my math SATs, so I could be in engineering. I could have done anything with my life, but I've chosen to do this because I don't see any more problems in the world as challenging as trying to gain respect for the sport of bowling. So, you know, really, I've dedicated my life, and I know Tom Clark has as well, and Mike J, and now you, Jeff, you've been sucked into it as well, to turning this thing around. But we can't do it by ourselves. You know, we need people everywhere who enjoy what we do to share their joy and passion for bowling in order to spread the word and grow the sport. And if that doesn't happen, then, you know, the trolls are going to be right, and bowling really will be dead. Jeff, when you and I created the Bowling Center, I had no idea at the time just how popular the show would be.
Yeah, but that's good because it means people out there can take bowling lightly and still respect it at the same time because we kind of like bowling.
Yeah. I mean, I might even say love.
Get rid of the qualifying and I could love it too. I'm going to stick with like for now.
One day you will love it, Jeff Goodger. One day.
All right, I'll trust you.
Now, we don't quite know what the future of the Bowling Center is. Definitely the fans have spoken and you guys seem to love the concept, and that means we want to bring it back. We have a lot of fun doing the show, but we're currently trying to figure out how we would do that, and as soon as we know, we'll let you know on the PBA's website and also on the Facebook page. But until then, we just want to say thank you so much for watching the show from the bottom of our hearts. We're doing everything in our power to bring it back and bring you more great coverage of the PBA and other events in the bowling world. And until then, I'm Jason Thomas, the bowling guy. This is Jeff Goodger, the internet bowling personality. And we'll see you on Extra Frame and hopefully on a future episode of the Bowling Center.